Okay, let's talk about puberty. It's this time of massive change, and let's be real, it can feel like everyone has a different kind of weird story about what's supposed to happen. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those strange stories or rules you hear about what's happening to our bodies. These myths can make us feel worried or confused or even embarrassed about changes that are actually completely normal.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take some of the most common puberty myths and put them right up against the scientific reality. Let's find out what's actually true. All right, first up, let's get into how we look. This is where so many of our anxieties and comparisons can start, and they're often fueled by some seriously persistent myths. Here's a big one, a real classic. This idea that growing a beard is like the final test of becoming a man, and if you can't, you're somehow falling behind.
It's a powerful idea. You see it pretty much everywhere. But what do you think? Is this really a hard and fast rule for growing up?
Yeah, this one is pure fiction, a complete myth. The reality is actually much, much simpler. Whether you grow facial hair, when it happens, or how much you get, it all comes down to your genes. It's like a blueprint passed down from your family. It has absolutely nothing to do with how manly you are.
Okay, let's tackle another common one you've probably heard a million times. You know, the classic voice crack, something that is almost always pinned on boys.
But here's the real story. Now, it's true, a boy's voice does take a really dramatic drop as their voice box grows, but, and this is the key thing, girls' voices change too. It's just a more subtle shift, getting a little deeper over time. So the main takeaway here is that everyone's voice changes.
Oh man, the acne blame game. We've all been there, right? Greasy food, chocolate, soda, the list of things that supposedly cause pimples is just endless. We've all been told to ditch certain foods if we want clear skin.
But here's the fact. Acne isn't really about what you eat. It's mostly a hormonal thing. During puberty, your body is pumping out more hormones, and these hormones tell your skin to produce more oil. That oil can then clog your pores. So while a healthy diet is always a great idea, that pizza isn't the real villain here. It's just biology doing its thing.
Okay, next up, health and hygiene. This is an area where myths and misinformation can cause a lot of unnecessary shame and worry. This is a topic that can feel, well, pretty awkward to talk about, and the myths floating around out there definitely don't help. Some people actually worry that having a wet dream means something is wrong with them medically. So let's be super clear on this. That is 100% a myth. Wet dreams are a completely normal and healthy part of growing up for guys. In fact, they're a sign that the reproductive system is maturing and working just like it's supposed to. There is nothing at all to be ashamed or worried about. Now, this is a myth that's been around for a long time. It comes from old cultural beliefs and superstitions that say someone on their period is somehow unclean and could spoil food.
The reality could not be more different. There is absolutely zero scientific or hygienic reason why someone on their period can't cook, or swim, or exercise, or do literally any other daily activity. Menstruation is a healthy, natural process. It has nothing to do with being clean or unclean.
Okay, this next section is a biggie, a really big one, because it deals with one of the biggest sources of stress during puberty, timing. That whole "am I normal" question that we all ask ourselves?
And this right here, this might be the most damaging myth of them all. It's this belief that there's one single correct timeline for puberty. And if you're not on it, something must be wrong with you.
Look, the truth is, puberty is not a race. It's a personal journey. Your hormones kick off the process, and your body just responds on its own unique schedule. Some people start earlier, some start later, some develop really quickly, others more gradually. The only normal timeline is the one that's happening to you.
Here's another timing misconception for you. This idea that the first period is like the finish line, that it signals a girl has suddenly become a fully grown adult overnight.
But nope, that is just not how it works at all for two huge reasons. First, just look at this age range. The normal age for a first period can be anywhere between 9 and 16. That's a huge window. And second, it's just one milestone. It's not the end of the story. It's just one step in a much longer process of development that keeps going for years.
So, we've busted a lot of myths today, but why does any of this really matter? Why is it so important to get the facts straight? Let's wrap up by looking at the real-world impact of all this.
Believing these myths isn't just harmless. It can lead to feeling real shame about things that are totally natural.
It can cause a ton of anxiety about not fitting in or being normal. And it can even lead to making poor health choices because you're working with bad information. But on the flip side, knowing the facts, that's incredibly empowering. It helps you build confidence in your own body, it helps you accept your own unique timeline, and it opens the door for healthy, honest conversations with your friends, your family, or any adult you trust.
Because that's what it all comes down to. Talking is the best weapon we have against myths. When we share real information, we replace all that fear and confusion with understanding and support. So, the conversation starts now.